Start by aligning your tile grid so that critical cuts around pipes and the floor drain fall in predictable, accessible locations. Begin by mapping the room and locating all plumbing fixtures and drain centers relative to your layout lines. Measure from 2 fixed walls to establish a reproducible reference grid and transfer those measurements to the tile faces before any cutting. For round pipes, use a carbide grout saw or a diamond hole saw size slightly larger than the pipe diameter, and remember to leave a small gap for caulk or foam. If the pipe is on an angle, use a tapered hole cutter or score multiple overlapping holes and finish with a file. When a tile must be notched rather than fully holed, scribe the pattern on the tile and use a wet saw with a fine blade to make precise rim cuts, keeping the tile face down to reduce chipping. Always dry fit each cut tile in place and check alignment with adjacent tiles and the drain flange. Make micro adjustments by shaving edges with a rubbing stone or tile file rather than recutting. For shallow cuts around a drain flange, consider using a thin backer board or adjusting the substrate thickness so the finished tile sits slightly below the flange to allow a bead of waterproof caulk to bridge the gap and keep water directed into the drain. Common mistakes include measuring from the wrong reference wall, which throws the entire layout off, so always measure from 2 fixed perpendicular walls and record both dimensions. Then mark the tile and the floor so you can re-establish the grid if work is interrupted. Another frequent issue is cutting too tight to the pipe, which prevents a bead of sealant and can lead to cracking when the pipe moves. Leave a small intentional gap and use flexible sealant or an elastic foam gasket. People also tend to install tiles without dry fitting, which hides misalignment until the adhesive bonds. Always lay tiles out dry. Label each cut tile with a simple sequential mark on the back using pencil, and install in the labeled order to preserve fit. BigHomeProjects.com helps homeowners find local contractors for tile and plumbing adjustments and gives contractors a place to showcase skills and find work related to specialized fitting tasks. We also host an active discussion community where homeowners and tradespeople exchange tips, ask questions about tricky cuts, and share photos of layouts for feedback.